Hi, I'm Eleanor and I'm here with Girls Globe at Women Deliver 2019 in Vancouver, Canada. I'm so happy to be joined by Abbey Kocan from the Kupona Foundation. Thank you so much, Abbey, for talking to us. I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about what Kupona Foundation does and what inspires you to use your power to champion fistula survivors.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Eleanor. It's great to be here at Women Deliver. So excited to be back after Copenhagen 3 years ago, which was incredible, and how much has happened since then. So Kupona is a Swahili word that means to heal. And Kupona Foundation is focused on using the collective power of our community to improve the health of women and girls in Tanzania. And we are doing that by being dedicated to providing high-quality healthcare to those who need it most, which includes women and girls with fistula, and we do that in partnership with our Tanzanian partner organization, CCBRT. What motivates me most is actually the reality that faces women and girls every day. So in Tanzania, every hour, 1 woman and 7 newborns will die from preventable causes related to maternal and newborn health care. 80% of these deaths are preventable. And every year, 3,000 more women will develop obstetric fistula, a completely preventable condition. It's a devastating and traumatic childbirth-related injury that is caused by prolonged obstructed labor without access to emergency obstetric care. Because the injury causes women to become incontinent, it often leads their husbands, their families, and their communities to abandon them, and they become social outcasts. And it doesn't have to be this way. This is something that really, it's a cause that I really get fired up about because it is preventable and treatable. It's treatable through a simple surgery and rehabilitation. So I was hoping maybe I could share just one story of a woman who,
of course,
particularly inspired me, and her name is Msande. This is a story, a woman that we had come through last year for treatment, and Msande is 82 years old. And she developed fistula in 1958 with the birth of her first child. So she lived with this condition for over 60 years because she didn't know that fistula was treatable. And it wasn't until last year that she learned of our partner organization and the fact that she could receive free surgery to correct her fistula, and she traveled to Dar es Salaam from across Tanzania to receive that treatment. She could have, with the knowledge, she could have received the treatment to correct her fistula much sooner. The beauty of Msande's story is actually that her husband stayed with her for the entire duration of her having had that condition. And he stood by her side, and she said to us when she was in the hospital, "I only wish he could have been here today." He died before he saw her receive that life-changing treatment. But Msande's story is also inspiring because we know that we can prevent more women like Msande from living with this condition for so long. So to me, power is knowledge, information, and the opportunity for connection. And all of these things are really critical to what we do in our approach to treating obstetric fistula. So we work with CCBRT to change that reality for women like Msande. And we leverage the power of knowledge and connection both to raise awareness about fistula treatment in Tanzania, but also globally through opportunities like this. Through using our voices and platforms to reach people who don't know that this is a condition that affects an estimated 2 million women globally. So every year, CCBRT provides hundreds of women with fistula treatment and hundreds more to partner facilities who also treat fistula. And I think really for me, it's just that no woman should live with fistula for 60 years or even 6 months.
No, thank you so much for sharing that story. That's incredibly powerful and really highlights why you're doing the work you do. And you spoke a little bit there about power. And while we're at Women Deliver, we're talking a lot about the power of we, right? So I was wondering if you could explain what does that mean? What does the power of we mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So our vision is a Tanzania without fistula, where every woman has the potential to walk freely. And I believe that our power, and we heard this morning in the plenary session as well, is to give a voice to the voiceless. So what can NGOs do? I think both Amref Health International, Dr. Katahi and the CEO of Plan International both spoke about this a bit, and I think it's really important. Something that we at Kupona Foundation with partners like CCBRT have is access to the people who are experiencing these challenges firsthand. And what we can often do is connect those experiences, that real understanding of the challenges, to the donors, to the partners, to the governments, who together we can work, the power of we, to change that reality for people. So no one can do this alone, and for us, partners like Johnson & Johnson, partners like Fistula Foundation are so critical to being able to provide this comprehensive treatment, to give a voice to the women who are living with this condition, and to change the future for those women.
Okay, and I wondered if I could ask you what advice you would have to other people who wanted to find a way to use their power to advance the health of women and girls.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. So, I believe that every one of us has a power to make a positive change in the world. And I think my advice would be, don't intimidated by global challenges that seem insurmountable. It is complex. A lot of what we do is complex, but we have an understanding of that complexity. So I think what each one of us can do is to research, learn more about individuals and organizations who are championing the causes and the challenges that mean the most to you and those that align with your values. Mm-hmm. And I think a couple of different ways. One, you can certainly donate and support organizations financially. Yeah. Most organizations that are Women Deliver need that in some way, but it doesn't have to be financial. I think we all bring a certain experience and expertise that we can bring to organizations as advisors. We can make a career change, which is something I did 6 years ago, to leverage your past experience in a different way. And then I think, using that power is a way that you can really make a meaningful change. And so my hope for the Women Deliver conference, for all of these discussions, is that it will inspire each of us, or many of us, to use our power in a way that will change the status quo of women and girls living with fistula, and of so many of the other women and girls causes that we are talking about and championing during this conference.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abby.